Tommy Reynolds has his gun out. He's pointing the gun, and all of a sudden, I see this woman.
They say it's on every single station. They're saying that Daddy died.
I don't think his life ended at Holston's that night.
If it wasn't for Sopranos, I don't know if I'd be here, you know.
My first thing, and I'm with these legends, De Niro.
One night I jumped out of a car doing 60 miles an hour because I was addicted.
Salute, Mob 2.
Salute, Mob Tube. How's everybody doing today? We're going to talk about Gene a little bit. I actually just got done texting with him, and I got the story. That was before I realized that he was on Jeff Nadeau's show for about a minute or so earlier today. I didn't know till I talked to Jeff. So I don't know if you guys saw that. It's a pretty simple story. I'll break it down for you, and we'll talk about it because I have my thoughts on it, of course, you know, and I'll express them as respectfully as possible. I do want to say thank you, Sally, $10. I hope to be back at Showtime. I hope you're back too. Paulie Walnuts, $19.99. What's up, bro? Hope all is well, bro. I was going to text you today to ask you how you've been and stuff. You know, I haven't seen you in a while, so thank you, and thank you for being here. Look at this. Paulie Walnuts, $19.99. I forgot to say match. Nice. $50 within 4 minutes. And 30 of that came, I think, before I clicked live. You know, that means that I just made 2 months of Stax's income within 4 minutes. You know, that's something to be proud of. Now, Paulie Walnuts did say match. And as you know, Paulie is one of the biggest sponsors of this show. So please do as he tells you, and match, because those are the rules, okay? They're not made up by me. They're made up by the board of directors on which Paulie Walnut sits with other members such as Sally. So thank you, guys. 115 people. All right. Let me see if I just got something else. No. Let me do some shout-outs. Sally, Dave, D. Gainey, Miss Can't Be Wrong, Jesse Roth, Angela's Right Nut, Jordan Canada, Hey Now, or should I say, Hey Now, Albaz, Nico Sia Connection, DJ Mir 84, did I shout out Jesse? There's always got to be one I'm not sure of. Let's see what I just get. Hold on. Oh, Miss Can't Be Wrong, keeping me posted as usual. The sit down with Jeff Nadeau. What's up, bro? Good show earlier. Nico IRA on Facebook. No, I wasn't doing that. Earlier, not right before the show, though. Michael Hensley, we love you too. BX. I might be repeating names now. Who cares? Let me get down here. Mustache Pete, what's up, cuz? How you doing, bro? Joe Root. Probably shouted you out 4 times already. Tatone. Steve Moore. What's good, Steve? And I think that's it. It doesn't seem like that's possible. I feel like I didn't shout out that many names, but all right. 124 people. Sounds good. Oh, no freaking ZD now. What's up, bro? Shit. Look at this. Alex Fajigadaja, 1999, matched. Oh, I know I must have missed the whole section because I didn't even see that in the chat. I'm in my starred column over here. Thank you, Alex Fajigadaja. And Shinebox, 1999, matched. Guys, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the donations very, very much. I am destitute at this point. I've been broken by dental work and things of that nature. So, you know, I had an imaginary one-on-one fight that didn't take place about 2 weeks ago where I was hit so hard that all my money was knocked right out of my savings account. You know, so now I got to catch up. I appreciate you guys donating very much. And I had to miss yesterday because I want to tell you the truth, guys. I'm not going to do shows anymore when I don't have something specific to talk about. I'm not. I don't want, like I said, when I got rid of all that beef nonsense from the channel, I also got rid of a lot of that horse shit. I want every show to be good and have some substance to it and be about something. And that's it, So yesterday, between that and the fact that I had to be up at 7 a.m. today, which for me is a fucking nightmare, I didn't do a show yesterday, Hey now, $10, go buy some Lucky Charms to match your Irish vibes today. Oh, boy, that was the last thing I was trying to represent, but thank you. I just don't, I don't know. I don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Associate green necessarily with Irish things all the time. Although when I was arrested in 2016, it was on St. Patrick's Day, and I was wearing a green like Rockaware, like windbreaker type thing, one that I had for a long time. I only wore it like once or twice a year because it was sick. And the agent, who was extremely Irish, complimented me on it, and I said, well, I guess you could have it because I don't want it anymore. Of course, I didn't give it to him, but look at the Stacks character. Fuck you and your YouTube money, man. I got tall strippers, man. What you got? You ain't got shit, man. Why your name you not look fat? Thank you, Mr. Krabs. I'm not actually fat, but I think I was semi-fat at one point, pretty fat actually. And I just thought it would be funny, I was at work one day when I was deciding to start a YouTube channel, and I thought, well, I didn't know how far trolling went, but I thought, you're definitely going to be made fun of. It's impossible not to, especially on YouTube or the internet at all. So I'll say some things about myself that I know they're going to say eventually, so I'll just get it out of the way. Fat and bald. So here we are. Robert B., what's up, bro? Oh, no, D. Gainey, is that the green light, big dog? Uh-oh. Oh, shit, let me see something. Yeah, Jeff, he sent me a different one, too. Yeah. Crazy. I think some of your best shows have come from no topic and random conversation with the chat. Tony Ducks, you're probably right. So every now and then I'll probably still do that, but I'm really trying to make the content as good as possible, believe it or not, seriously. And I'm gonna, I'm working on a lot of interviews and things like that. So I think we've been having good fucking shows without trashing people, without talking about people. And I plan on continuing to do that. Now today, of course, the big news is Gene Borello. We're going to talk about him in just a second. Let me just see what we have over here. Sally, $10. Some of your best recent shows. Are you bantering with friends in the chat? Oh, okay, well, listen, if you guys feel that way, I will keep doing those, at least from time to time. Thank you for letting me know. Is that right, Brooklyn? Interesting. Chatting with Stacks. My hose be 7 feet tall. B. Especially standing next to me. What you got, man? Oh, I know. I saw a picture of him. It's ridiculous. The most ratchet ass hookers you ever saw. Like 3 of them, 3 or 4, and he's in the fucking middle, and he's like they dwarf him. I'm glad to know that, Brooklyn. I did not know. If you have any other information on that, feel free to email me at fatbalditalian@gmail.com. Thank you, Miss Campion. Yeah, you guys are the best. Get to the show already. I agree with you. Sorry, Joker Smoker 976. I'm taking my sweet ass time. Yes, Brooklyn, I would love it. Fatbalditalian@gmail. Thank you. Miss Campion, you're the best. The sit down. Hey, man. So here's the story, okay? And like I said, you probably heard it 15 times already today. I'll just tell you what Gene said to me in my texts, and then I could play the clip from Jeff's show, he said, if I want to, so I'll do that. So, obviously the news, I think Dom Sicali first reported it. Maybe, I don't know. So many people jumped on it. Maybe it was Jeff. I don't even know that Gene got arrested last night. Like I said, I was up bright and early in the morning. It's the first fucking text message I got today. I did take a nap later, like I said, but anyway. They said that he, at first, the story was she came at him with a knife, and he's under arrest and in jail and waiting to be bailed out. At least that's what Dominic said. I didn't see Jeff's early video, whatever he did. So, listen, I'm cool with Gene Borello. I like Gene. I seriously do. I consider him a friend. Not at first. When I first started on here, that's for sure. But, over the last couple of years, yeah, we became cool, and I like the dude, and I want to do this in a way, so I'm not being disrespectful to him or his girl in any way, shape, or form. But Gene knows. He wouldn't be surprised to hear me say that I wasn't the slightest bit shocked. Nobody was. I mean, and it's not because I think he abuses his girl. I don't think that at all. Because as long as they've been together, and with all the little videos we've seen, of him doing wild shit, I never saw him put his hands on her. I never heard of him putting his hands on her. That I saw the one video. He's standing in the apartment with a knife, and he's threatening to go after who was it, security from the building or whoever it was. But I don't believe there were even ever any rumors of him hitting her. I could be wrong, but I certainly don't know of any. So I didn't think I wasn't. The reason I'm saying I'm not shocked isn't because I expect that of him. It's just that I'm not shocked that he got arrested. Gene is a nutcase. He'll be the first to admit that. He's a wild man. And I think, honestly, just because we've all been there, maybe not to the extent of Gene, maybe some of us have, as far as being wild, but you slow down with age, you calm down, you start to have some epiphanies and realize certain shit in life just isn't worth it. You can't sweat the small stuff, shit like that. But, I wasn't surprised because I know where Gene's head is still at, and he is who he is, and you can't take that away from a person. Like I said, it comes with age and maturity and all that shit. But, nobody would be surprised to hear he got arrested again, and I don't think anybody was. I'm glad, obviously, that he didn't do anything like that. He didn't put his hands on her at all, okay, at least from the story I'm getting and from everything we've heard. She stabbed him. He sent me he sent me one picture, and Jeff just sent me a different picture that I guess Gene sent him. He does have a hole in his leg. Now it's funny, this one Jeff sent me seems like it's closer to his foot. So that's what happened there. It looks, it's on his calf muscle, obviously. At first I heard it was his thigh, but it's his calf muscle. I feel like I had an injury to my thigh recently. I don't know. Anyway, I had some swelling too. That's what happened. Now, according to him, they were going to charge her with aggravated assault or something along those lines. And and this goes to show you a lot about him. People could say whatever they want, but his concern, I don't know what to tell him, but his concern was, and is, her being charged. He doesn't want her being charged with that. And the way he explained it to me, one of them has to take a charge because I'm assuming Florida is like PA. In PA, if there's a domestic violence situation, okay, no matter who is the victim, if the victim says, I'm not pressing charges, the state says, well, too fucking bad, we are. And that was created, that law, because quite often a woman will be getting beaten by her husband and she'll, and refuse to press charges time and time again, no matter how many times it happens, until finally one day he kills her. So they made it now so that the state presses the charges. I told you when I was 17, something happened between me and my brother, and I hurt him, and he refused in the hospital. He refused to press charges, and they said, well, too bad, we are, because you live in the same house. So from what Gene told me, since one of them had to take the charge, he decided to just take a domestic violence charge or whatever the exact charge was, just so hers could be dropped. you know, because he doesn't want her having that on her record, which is commendable. You got to give it to him. And it's funny because I was thinking about it, and I'm going to say this as gently as possible too, because I don't want to insult her in any way, and I know Gene wouldn't want me to. And that's how I know he loves her to death, because, you know, anything I've ever talked to him about, you know, pertaining to her, he always makes it clear, you know, he doesn't blame her for things. He doesn't get mad at her. He doesn't want her, you know, abused or bashed in any way by anybody. But, you know, they're toxic for each other. There's no question. Maybe it's not up to me to say, but I think Gene would agree at this point. I think they're toxic to each other. That's it. You know, I don't think they're two people that need to be together. And again, that's not up to me to decide. But I think, you know, most people and even they might possibly agree with that. Now, there are women who do things like this. Okay. But usually those women aren't with guys like Gene. If you know what I mean. Now, that could work two ways. That could be very, very bad for the woman who chooses to do something like this. Or, in this case, she got lucky and she had a dude who was willing to get her out of trouble and take the charge for her. So you can't knock the guy for it. You know, and like I said, I don't know her like that. She messaged me one time just to pass a message from Gene to me when he was in the feds. You know, that's it. I don't know anything about her. We just know what we hear. We don't know who's ever in the wrong, who's in the right, who's the most toxic, who's the most vicious, we don't know any fucking thing, you know. But Gene was on here once, and I actually saw him get a little pissed off at me, I think. We were doing an interview, and I said to him, you know, you got to get away from her, something along those lines. And you could tell he got visibly, you know, bothered, I think, by the way I said that, because I said something, you know, I probably a little more detailed or elaborate than that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, she's poison for you, something like that. You got to get away. It's not good to be with her, something like that. I don't know. And I said that because I know situations like this. You know what I mean? I know situations like this. And it's never good, especially, you know, if you're somebody with a temper and a short fuse and stuff. Now, luckily, you know, I don't think, like I said, he's ever put his fucking hands on her. What do I know? But, you know, who knows what could happen? You know, you can only push people so fucking far. And it's obvious now that it doesn't have to be him putting his hands on her. Somebody could wind up dying in that relationship, you know, or getting really, really badly hurt over whatever. You know, so I meant that when I said it to him, and I didn't mean it as an insult to her. I meant it as, you know, my way of looking out for him and giving him advice. You know, I was with a girl. It was kind of a rebound from, you know, a long-term relationship I was in. I was with her for a few years, and she was a maniac. She had her life together in ways most people don't, especially at her age. You know, she had it going on without a doubt. Job, you know, crib, fucking car, money in the bank, everything. But she was off her fucking rocker. Okay. And she would like to see, there's something I always say about myself. Okay. I grew up with screaming in the house, constant screaming. That was my childhood. Screaming, violence, breaking things, you know, fucking just, it was a disaster. Okay. So, anybody who knows me to this day knows that I'd rather you punch me in my face than scream at me. It honestly makes me insane. Like, I flip out when people scream at me. You know, I've put my hands on people, you know, at work and shit, you know, because people want to yell in my fucking face. It makes me nuts. I'd rather you do anything. It's just something that triggers something inside of me. You know what I mean? And this girl would do exactly that. You know, we'd get in a fight. And my way of fighting with a chick is, I'll get the fuck out of here. You know what? Why don't you go out? Go do something. Don't get away from me. You know, I don't even want to fight with you. Fuck off. But this chick would like to stand there in my fucking apartment or in her apartment, wherever we were, and just scream at me. Scream. You know, and it got to the point where, and no, I never put my fucking hands on her. It's just not me. But it got to the point where I said, okay, I can't take this shit any fucking more. And all this chick ever wants to do is fight. And then when we fight, she wants to do the one thing that drives me the craziest and scream at me. So time for the relationship to end. And I believe we probably both, at least today, can say that that was a good decision for the both of us. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not the kind of man that'll put up with that. And I don't think Gene is the kind of guy that'll put up with a lot of his girls' bullshit, So it's just it's a dangerous situation, I think. I wish them both the best, but I hit him up and I asked him, some things, and I said, can I talk about it? And he said, I said, well, first I thought, let me tell you, I thought it was the police. So I texted him and he said, I lost all my contacts. Who is this? My phone got wiped out. And I said, FBS, right? And he said, how are you? Now, I'm used to, my old world. You get busted or some shit, the cops will take your fucking phone and then, start, because a lot of the times people will be under your contacts with nicknames and stuff. So they'll ask specifically who you are. And then they'll ask anybody who's texting that phone or whatever, specific questions and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll use drug dealers' phones to try to get people to say shit to them on the phone and throw out text or whatever. So that's the kind of stuff I think about. And after I said it was FBS, he said, how are you? Now, this made me suspicious because I just talked to Gene. Like, the last time I talked to him was probably 2 fucking days ago. So I'm like, why would he be asking me how I am? But anyway, I believe it was him. It turned out to be him. But it made me nervous at first because you always got that shit in your head when you lived like that. You know what I'm saying? So I said, not bad, just checking on you because I heard what happened. He said, yeah, bro, LOL, I got stabbed. I said, wow, I hope it's nothing serious, blah, blah, blah. He said, I'm okay. And, I said, do you want me to tell everybody anything? He said, yeah, I'm okay. And just let them know that I can't let her get a stabbing charge. Okay, something along those. It was worded a little different. But and I asked if he's being charged. He said it was bullshit. She did not press charges. One has to go. In the state of Florida, I picked me, meaning one of the two people has to take the charge for domestic violence. So he took the charge. And then, he said again, I can't let her get a stabbing case that's serious. I said, I asked a couple of more questions. He said they took me in, but the charges will be dropped. So maybe he's talking about the charges against him being dropped too. I don't know. It was all through text, but he showed me that picture. And I told him if he wants to come on and talk about it or anything, he can. Or if there's anything else he wants me to tell you guys. Yeah, good point, Tony Ducks. It might have been, but you know me, Tony Ducks, bro. It's like, wait a minute. When somebody who just got arrested asks you a question that doesn't make fucking sense after, asking who you are, it's like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? So I was in the bathroom getting dressed. As soon as I saw, how are you? I said, oh, that's the cops. That's the cops. They got his phone. What was I saying? So, I don't know. Let me go to some comments and shit. It's just, especially with Gene's situation, man. Gene, and I don't know if he realizes, he must realize it, I would think. He's a target. He's a target by the police in Florida because he got I don't know if you guys remember, but, he got a whole bunch of charges and shit in Florida before he went back to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were checking, like apparently there was a gun involved, according to them at least, in one situation in a bar. There was a whole bunch of stuff. So I remember I texted him one night to see what he was up to, and he's like, bro, I just got arrested. And he told me this whole crazy story about something that happened. He chased down a car. I guess it had something to do with the girl, and he's punching the fucking window, and the cops were following him, and all this crazy shit. So he had he had a lot of stuff going on in Florida, and remember, and I'm going to, in this compilation thing, I'm making a clips from my show. I'm going to show this one clip where I said, oh, so you're like the Chris Pacello of Tampa, because Chris Pacello's in Miami. And he started laughing and said, bro, don't say that. That's what they're calling me. Don't say that, Well, look what happened to Chris Pacello in Miami in the beginning anyway, when he was doing his thing with all those clubs and stuff. Long before anybody from the Bath Avenue crew flipped, Florida they had an undercover cop hanging out with him as basically his best fucking friend and head of security. They had a whole case Florida was building on him. Okay, I don't know if it was specific, Miami police, state police, whatever, I forget. But Dade County, whatever the fuck it was. But they had a whole case they were building on him in Florida. Flashy guy. It's down south, New Yorker, especially back then in 93. It's not as bad now. But, Italian dude, he's a famous mob rat, if that's what you want to call him. And he moves to Tampa, and he's opening business and opening businesses and flashing money and living the life and shit. They got him under the fucking microscope. And the feds will always have him under a microscope. Always. They don't. I know the prosecutors from before hated him, and it's new prosecutors now. And he got lucky with Judge Block. But hold on, are they on their way? Hold on. Oh shit. I didn't think they'd be coming already. The fuck, the lawn crew is on their way. Stephen Cordell, $20 for Matched. Oh, Matched Paulie. Thank you, bro. He matched Paulie Walnuts. Thank you, my man. What was I saying? Fuck, I don't remember. But they'll have him under a microscope, and they'll be looking for any little thing. That's what I was saying. The new prosecutors, he says that they don't have a problem with them, but it's like I always say, even this YouTube shit, they watch all these guys because they want to hear them slip up and maybe admit to something that they never put in their 302s, or maybe talk about a specific individual that the feds are still trying to learn about something, for anybody who thinks, I know they think that these guys become rats, these mob guys, and then that's it. The federal government is just their best friend for the rest of their life, and they have handlers and all that shit. No, the feds do what they got to do for you, and then they would love to bust you all over again. They would love to. They don't give a fuck. Remember what Phil Leonetti, you remember when he was bitching that he couldn't even get a fucking job because they never gave him a new identity or anything, and they had the fucking agent on, who was I guess his handler in the case or whatever. And he was like, well, I told him, if you want a new identity and all that, what's it worth to you? In other words, what more can you give us? He wasn't satisfied with what Leonetti already gave him, which was a lot. He was not satisfied with that, so, that's just the way it is, man. I don't believe for a second that these guys are just in the good graces of the government. They're still Italian gangsters in the eyes of the government. That's it. They just happen to make a decision to cooperate for the time being. And a lot of these guys, let's face it, they go into the fucking program where they just, go start a new life after they're done, testifying and doing all that shit. And they become criminals all over again. Look at fucking Sammy, and he's not the only one. You know what I mean? So, I just never believe it's like that, because I have no reason to believe that they just love you. And then Gene, same shit, Gene's a wild man, so they're always going to be suspecting him of things. Always. They can't wait for him to fuck up again. So, I don't know. I'll tell you, if I had to give advice to Gene, to which he would not listen, by the way, he certainly wouldn't if I did give it to him. I would say keep your head as low as possible. You obviously got money now. You got a little bit of notoriety. People fucking, you're a local celebrity there, but that could work against you. Take your money, invest, do the food trucks, whatever businesses you're trying to get into. You got the hand wash and all that stuff going on. Don't bother no fucking buddy. And I would even limit going out. Now, Gene's a little younger, and I know, that's still his lifestyle and stuff. He loves going out to clubs and all that shit. But even that, and I would just say, get yourself really fucking, you make as much fucking money as possible. And maybe later on, you move somewhere else or some shit and start partying and doing that shit. Well, if you even want to do it then. But as of right now, he's got to be real fucking careful, man. Real careful. And now this. This is another thing. He's been out of jail, what, 2 weeks or some shit? Has it been longer? 3 weeks, a month, whatever it's been? And this happens. So, again, now they have more reason to be watching him. Now, if they weren't aware of the fact that he's back, which I'm sure they were, they are now. So be real careful, man, because they'll lock you up any chance they fucking get, and if, depending on the relationship you have with this girl, let me tell you, a woman can love you, love you, love you, love you, love you until she doesn't love you anymore. And then she could become the fucking devil. And she can ruin your life with one fucking phone call. One phone call. She could ruin your life. And if you have a girlfriend who might just be crazy enough to hurt herself or something and say you did it, you're fucking finished. You gotta break away as amicably as possible. You know what I mean? Because he's in a very sensitive position. No, he's not on paper anymore. They can't just pick him up. But he's Gene Borello. That's it. He just got out of the fucking feds. He's a high-profile individual, and he's in Tampa. He's not in, New York, where a lot of these guys stay and stuff like that. So I don't know, man, but it's just some of my opinions on the whole fucking thing. The 1999 Power Hour. Yeah, Deganey. Where's yours? I don't remember getting your 1999, you fucker. Let me get down here. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. FBS, when I texted you this morning, I was concerned about bothering you. LOL. I had to, though. Yeah. I think, let me see what time that was, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Yeah, that was 11:23. I think I was just getting home. I might not have even seen this. I went to sleep and after I ate, and then I got up and showered and shaved, and here I am. But yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, stuff like that. Of course, I always want to know. But I think who was it first that texted me? Maybe Capello or Joey Dimes or somebody. Yeah, I think Joey Dimes might. That motherfucker always texts me bright and early. Chatting with Stacks. I can't stand Jeff Nadeau, man. Sorry, I always got to add man. He tried to call my boss Ray Monday a fraud, man. I've been kicking up to Ray Monday for 2 years. You ain't got no money to kick up to him. Soon I will get my own action selling balloon animals on Coney Island, man. Next to Ray Monday's cigar stand, man. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. He's got a lot of opportunity, man. Don't throw that away. I don't give a fuck how in love you are with a woman. I mean, and it's easier said than done, to just walk away from somebody you're in love with. But I think they need to, and I think it's going to save his life and his freedom if they go their separate ways. I don't know if that's the plan, but let's be honest. I mean, at this point, I'd be shocked if they go their separate ways because they always get back together. He does miss, but you got to admit, I mean, considering. Give me 1 second, guys. Long guy. Give me 1 second. I got to bring him a tip. Hold on. Give me like 4 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Life is funny, man. If I told you who my loan guy was, you'd fucking pass out. A couple of people in here know that I've told the story too, but I just had a conversation with him. Funny dude. Funny dude. Anyway, let me see. I don't remember where I was at, so let me read some comments. Oh, Tony Ducks. He made it long. What was it? How long has it been since he's been back? Let me see. I'm going to tell you right now because I'll tell you when I texted him. I want to say 2-3 weeks, right? No, it's more than 2 weeks. What was this? Was this it? Wednesday, September 20th? Oh, okay. Damn, yeah. Well, he got out the 20th, I think. So that's a fucking month tomorrow. Okay. And Tony Ducks, he can't believe he made it a month. I kind of can't either. I actually believe Gene. I was with a beautiful woman that was also crazy and would get violent at times. Also, we all know that the cops will arrest the guy before a woman. Oh my God, that's why I say women are. Oh, thank you, Brooklyn. Women are very, very. You got to be very careful, man. A woman's word is gold. You know what I mean? That's why. I'm glad that I'm married now and I'm past all the fucking running around and crazy shit like that because you can't even fucking. I mean, I'm not going to get into the things that take place these fucking days. What a woman can just say, just one word, and your whole fucking life is over. It's unbelievable. They don't care. They don't give a fuck about hearing the man's side of it. Oh, she said, okay, done. And your life's fucking ruined. So I'm glad I'm done with all that horse shit. I've always liked Gene and thought he was hilarious, even from the Juno. The fuck is that? Yeah. In the beginning, I didn't like him. He made some comments about me because I was fighting with A-Light, and I went on a little rant about him. And then he talked a little shit, like on the Cinemills interview and stuff like that. But he apologized for it privately, apologized for it publicly, and it's all good, man. And I'll tell you the truth, I judge a person by who hates them, if that makes any sense to you. You know what I'm saying? I got to look at a person and say, well, who are your enemies? And I realize many of your enemies are real low-life fucking scumbags. So that's a good thing for you. Oh, I will, Brooklyn. Trust me. Oh, wow. I'm so far up. What the fuck? I've had psycho girls. They're fun, but can be dangerous. They'll be aggressive, then play the victim. Yeah, you never know, man. Like I just said, a woman could do anything to a guy with just her words. Just make a fucking phone call. It's all over. Yeah, Nico IRA, yes. No, it's all good, bro. First, I thought you were talking about Rob Jean the way it was spelled. He just texted me, thank you. Chatting with Stacks, you guys are lucky I'm only half full-blooded Italian. Otherwise, I would be the boss of the Bristol hotel that LL Cool J wrapped room 5. The boss of Bristol, the Bristol hotel. Yes, I remember that song. Oh, shit. You're a funny motherfucker, man. Jordan Canada, getting stabbed with scissors takes a lot to react with violence, girlfriend or not. It takes a lot to not react with violence. I'm sorry, girlfriend or not, so salute to him for not going off. Yeah, you got to give him credit, man. Like, see, and I'm sure, when is Joey's next show? Because Joey, well, I think Joey and Snuff filmed their show last night. They might go back and do another fucking segment just to add this to it. Because Joey's going to mention this. But the thing is, the dude got stabbed. Was it a pair of scissors? I don't even know. I thought it was a knife. Whatever, though. He got stabbed by his girl and didn't hit her. You got to give him fucking credit, you know, because a lot of guys would say, okay, yeah, I never put my hands on a woman in that way, but now you went too far, bitch, you know. Well, Nico, see a connection. I understand what you're saying, but this is the thing. Well, yeah. Listen, I never heard of them giving you the option of who takes the charge. That's the only thing that might seem a little fishy. I understand. But I will say this, the way this fucking country works, yeah, you could be the one stabbed and still be the guy that goes to fucking jail because the other party is a female. Okay. It's the way the courts work. You know, that's why a woman could be a raggedy pig and walk in a courtroom and take custody from a good man, custody of the children, you know, because it just works in their favor. Always. Always. So, you know, I know a guy that I worked with. This guy worked fucking probably 65, 70 hours a week as a maintenance man in a factory, making $28 an hour. This is like 20 years ago. Okay. Barely got to see his fucking family because he worked so much to support them. Wife didn't do shit, sat on her ass all day until she started fucking somebody else. Then she wasn't necessarily on her ass the whole time, if you know what I mean, anymore. But, you know, he finds out, she breaks the news to him she's been having an affair. They get a fucking divorce. And between alimony and fucking child support, they're taking like 80 fucking % of his paycheck every week. The fucking guy had to move into a room in a boarding house. She got everything. And she was cheating on him. It's just the way the courts work. It's fucking unbelievable. It was a hot 35 seconds. I can only stand for a few. I'm in the middle of making a worthless video where I use Gene Borello's name to clout chase. That way I could reach 40 views this time. Oh, chatting with Stacks. That sounds about right. Either that or you're using my name. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, Tony Ducks, but, you know, Dom said it earlier, and I'm not a huge fan of Dom Sicilian, but he said, and this is just, you know, this is not his thing. This is an expression. There's three sides to a story, you know, and in this case, it would be his, hers, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle there. So, yeah, do I 100% believe he didn't touch her at all or something? I don't know. I'm so fucking jaded when it comes to how the laws work in the woman's favor all the fucking time, no matter what the court situation is, whether it's domestics, fucking child custody, something like this, fucking, it don't matter, you know, that nothing would surprise me at this point. But yeah, there's obviously a chance, you know, that we're not hearing the whole story, of course. But trust me, somebody will dig it up. Nobody will even really have to. It'll be out there. Capisci will write about the shit tomorrow. A girl I grew up with fought with her boyfriend like that. They got married, had 3 kids back to back. He went crazy one night, shot her and himself. That was like 27 years ago. Crazy. Wow. Jesus. Man, a friend of mine, Mark, this dude was in a halfway house in Reading. Yeah, after he got out of state prison, he was doing 2 years flat for some DUIs. And he went to a halfway house, and there was a dude in there with him that was always quiet, stayed to himself, just spent as much time as he could on the phone with his woman, right? And one day he leaves. I told this story before. He leaves. He comes back later that night. He's all fucking disheveled and looking bad and smelling bad and everything else. Nobody knows what's going on. A couple hours later, the police show up and pick him up. He left the halfway house that day. He went to his wife's house and he lit it on fire with her in it. And of course, she died. And, you know. Now, a lot of people said, you know, they right away went after him and shit. You know, of course. I mean, what he did, there's no justification for it. It's disgusting. You know, but right away, you know, the news and stuff, you know, started calling him woman abuser and all types of shit. And he didn't have any record, any history of that whatsoever, you know? And listen, my first thought was, what the fuck did she do to drive him to that? Because people don't just wake up and say, I'm going to go do that today. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong for that, but right away people, because again, this is how the world works. You know, they go on a witch hunt, you know? Oh, is he really? Shit, fucking Joey. I listened to that episode again with the kid, with the Wag's nephew or whatever. Anonymous Legion. As long as he keeps enabling her, protecting her when she's violent, then she'll take full advantage of him. Eventually, she may end up killing him. There are no consequences for behavior, for her behavior. No, I think she's going to kill him one day. I'm dead serious. I do. Just my opinion, but I do. Mustache Pete, it pisses me off when the people who don't like him for informing will now take this story and make the dude out to be a woman beater. Meanwhile, they overlook others' allegations. Well, the people who will do that are people who are, you know, friends with a whole bunch of woman beaters. It's the funniest part. Yes, I agree, Robert B. I remove myself during any argument with my woman. That's the best way to do it, bro. It's the best way to do it. I've been like that for years. I do it with Shanna. I say very simply, I'm not going to argue with you. You want to argue? You want to fight? Well, fight with somebody else. Call a friend or some shit. I'm leaving. And I'll just go do my own thing for a couple of hours and come back and hope things are cool. You know, I won't fight though. And it's no disrespect to her or anything. I won't. There's no point. I'm not leaving you. I don't think you're going to leave me, right? Okay, we probably had some stupid fucking argument. What are we going to battle it out, get real mad, say some things we'll both regret, and then make up any fucking way, except now we got resentment towards each other for whatever happened towards that argument? No, I'll just go, you know, drive around for a while, go to a friend's house, do whatever. You know what I mean? That's all. And I've been like that for years. As soon as when I was, you know, for about 10 years, all I was doing was like, I wouldn't even call it dating. You know, you meet a chick, you hang thing, and then you're out. You know, but even when I was doing that, you know, once I saw a chick was, you know, was almost turned on by fighting and shit like that, I was done. Yeah, no, because there are people like that, especially women. It's their heroin. They love it. That girlfriend I was telling you about earlier, this chick, when we would fight and she would go absolutely ape shit and be screaming at me and all this stuff. When she, like, and I use the words came down off of it for a reason, she was like in the best of spirits, couldn't have been happier. It's not like, oh, we made up. It's just like after she got to scream and yell and call me names and flip out, it's like she was high off of it. And I said, oh, you like this shit. This is how you get high, for real, because she didn't do drugs. This is like your addiction. You're addicted to this drama. And you need to experience it. And once you experience it, you feel all better. But then, you know, I don't. And that's the way some people are. They love it. There's people on here like that. There's a lot of women on here like that. Oh, my fucking God. They're just looking for you to do something to piss them off. You know, because they're addicted to that drama. They love it. Okay, there's no way I'm the whole way up where Tony Duck said it might have been a quick response answer. How the fuck am I still that high up? The sit down with Jeff Nadeau gonna try and get Gene on Love Island, LOL. He would be a standout on that show. Everybody else is just a regular guy. He's Gene Borello. That would be interesting, to say the least. Did I shout out Jersey Girl 732 for being a member for 12 months? Thank you, Jersey Girl. And Paulie Walnut's a member for 11 months. Thank you, bro. Oh, Jersey Girl 732, $9.99 Haya FBS match. That's Jersey Girl speaking. And as you guys know, she is one of the biggest sponsors of this show. So, you know, I don't want to tell you you have to do it. But I think she told you have to do it. And I got her back. I stand by Jersey Girl, so don't disobey her. It'll cause big problems. Oh my God, JM sucks bull stick. That's brutal. Hold on. Oh my God. All right. Jordan Canada, the sit down. Let's just work on getting him an island first, isolated with no people. Yeah, he'd probably be better first on an island with no people. Yeah, because, you know, Gene is Gene. But I will say this, you know, Tony Ducks and a couple of other people I agreed with earlier about how, you know, he got arrested and he was the one leaking and all that. Nico C, I think you said it and stuff. See, I do remember some things. But you know that if Gene, this is my opinion, that if Gene gets to the point where he's going to put his hands on a woman, it's going to be bad. You know, I don't think he's going to slap her in the fucking mouth and leave it at that. I think, and that's bad enough. You know, but I think, you know, I think there would be no question about it. You know what I'm saying? If he really in any way, shape, or form hurt her, there would be no argument. There'd be no conversation. We would know it for a fact. It would be every fucking where. It's just my opinion. So I don't know. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And the fact that, you know, his main priority is that he just wants to get her out of trouble says a lot about him. But again, and I will say this, and Gene is probably listening because he knows I'm live right now. If they get back together after this, regardless of what happens to either of them, neither of them deserve any sympathy. Seriously, because this is a couple of years now of this shit. And I'm not, you know, talking, I'm not being disrespectful or being an asshole. I mean, it's public knowledge. You know, there's constantly something. She used to put up videos of him breaking doors and fucking with a knife in his hand and all types of shit. You know, I just think if they don't go their separate ways now, then there's no question. There was no question, you know, a year ago when he was on this show all the time and stuff, you know. I said it to him, you know, eventually something really bad's going to happen if you stay together. And I honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth, even though I know for a fact, you know, I knew she was standing by him in the beginning because she messaged me and stuff and she was passing a message from him, you know, and that was a couple of weeks after he went in. I honestly believe that by the time he got out, they were both going to decide to go their separate ways. I swear to God, I really did. I didn't think their relationship was going to continue. But they're obviously madly in love, but it's crazy love. You know the song Eminem? Guys, if you never heard the song by Eminem, I think it's one of his best songs he ever made. It's called Crazy in Love. Listen to that shit. Okay? And that's the type of relationship. This is the type of relationship he was describing in that song. It's brutal, it's vicious, it's toxic. And neither of them are going to do each other any favors by continuing this relationship or do themselves any favors by continuing it. Yeah, stand-up guy's a funny motherfucker, man. He's a funny dude. I had him on most of the day. Well, not most of the day. I napped, like I said, around noon, and I fucking woke up at like 3:30. I was fucking beat because the last 2 days I didn't get shit for sleep. I did not. Last night I went to bed. I was probably asleep by 1, but I woke up at 6. I didn't have to be up till 7, and I just couldn't get back to sleep. You know, so what are we talking about? Like 5 hours? That's not enough for me. And the night before, I probably got about 5 hours. So I just been fucking exhausted, and that nap was needed. Now I got to worry that I won't be able to go to sleep tonight, but I don't have any appointments for a while, so who gives a fuck? You know, I got nothing I need to do. I've had nonstop appointments. Let me fill you guys in on this because I haven't been updating you on my mom's situation. The Barostim, as it appears, is still on the table. My mom has, I think I told you guys that much, but we just didn't know where it stood. My mom has an appointment on the 31st, Halloween. It's not a good sign, but we just talked about it before the show, and I guess they're going to tell her then. I think they're going to check where the leads would go, and so they might do some x-ray or something, which is promising, because obviously why would they be doing that if they're not going to give it to her? But the blockages, you know, she's having a consultation. at the same time, I believe, as to whether they can remove the blockages, which would be necessary, because my mom even said, if she's got 60 in one, 70 in the other, she's not going to get the Barostim because there's too much of a chance she'll have a massive stroke or something, if something happens. So hopefully on the 31st, we'll find out if she can. Maybe it was December 5th they're doing the thing for the leads. I don't know. I know on the 31st, though, they're going to find out about the blockages. If that happens, that's going to be a huge relief. Okay. And then I guess December 5th is an appointment. And then hopefully she stays well enough to make it all this time until she's able to get the Barostim. That's what we're hoping for. I haven't been talking about it lately because there's so much going on. You can only have so much on your mind at a fucking time. You know what I mean? I don't even want to be talking about all this different stuff. I've even been trying to avoid the subject of what's going on with my mom because I just want to focus on her, in my actual personal life. And being on here, I don't know. It's very difficult. You guys see me when I talk about my mom, how it usually turns out. I usually spend 45 minutes to an hour in fucking tears. So this is good news. Damn, he's done already. That's an acre of fucking grass. He's done already. Holy shit. Yeah, it doesn't turn out well when I talk about her, so hopefully everything will be good and Miss Hope will be around for a long, long time. Let me get down here. It's all about hits and misses, the ones you fuck and the ones you wife up. Just don't let them fuck your life up. Oh, there you go. Nice rhyme. All right. Lots of Karens out there. No offense to the name Karen. Yeah, there are. What's up, Albert, the truth-telling alligator? Still honest? Hope so. Autumn Fragrance. Gene went to solitary confinement defending SBF. Now he went to jail defending who? Now he went to jail protecting his girlfriend, even after she stabbed him. He is an absolute sweetheart. Well, I don't know who SBF is, but I believe he went to solitary because he was fighting for a guy who was getting bullied and shit. Is that who you mean? I'm not sure. But, in life, it's sometimes like that. The guy that fucking seems like a vicious animal has this fucking soft side to him. You know what I mean? And I believe Gene to be one of those people because just like, when we first talked after we were beefing and shit, and he was very, very apologetic about the things he said, especially towards Shanna and shit like that, and you just see a different side of him when you talk to Gene. You even see it on here, I don't know if you guys realize, but within the last year, I mean, before he got locked up, he was on here like 3 or 4 fucking times for not just for like 30 seconds or a couple of minutes either, for like full interviews and stuff. So if you guys want to just, look up Fat Bald-Sicilian Gene Borello or fucking whatever, you'll find my video. Just go through my videos. There's not many on there anymore. You'll see. Yes, Alba. Yeah, but yeah, the hubby. Yeah, not her though. I don't think. Yeah. I remember he said he was going to beat the dog shit out of him, and then he'd shoot him in the street or some shit, right? Something like that. Yeah, I remember. I've heard of that one before when they get to domestic dispute and the two parties are saying, it's all good. We okay now. The cops will say, I got to take one of you because we here and it's domestic. So who? Well, and, and that's in that case, then he's probably telling the truth. Yeah, absolutely, Jordan Canada. He has a history of rage. Gene Borello? Really? Yeah, I think that's fair to say. He does. But he doesn't have a history of beating women, I don't think. I know what Joey brought up, and I got on Gene about this too. When I used to go after Gene about tying the woman up in the house. Nobody would ever agree with that during the home invasion and stuff. But Joey Molino, come on. I mean, I don't know Joey personally, but I know, just like you guys know, we know things about the mafia. And if a mob guy is doing a home invasion, what are they going to do with the woman? They're going to tie her up, right? I mean, what are they going to say? We're giving up, whatever it could be, 50 grand, 75 grand worth of shit that's in this house, jewelry, whatever, because there's a woman there. We don't want to tie her up. That's why, coming from Joey, and I don't give a fuck, I'll say it straight up. That's funny because, there's people in Philly, during his reign until this day probably who are doing home invasions like that and shit. So. I can't believe him that easy. How do we know it was self-defense for her? We don't yet. Just strange. She stabbed and he went. Well, I don't think, Rocco, I don't think they're saying that it was self-defense at all. I don't think if what Gene is saying is true, she wasn't defending herself from him, or, she was she just stabbed him. You know what I'm saying? She went after him with a knife or scissors or whatever and stabbed him. I don't think there's any claim that it was self-defense on her part because that would mean he was attacking her. To be fair, Gene is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, Autumn Fragrance, whatever you say. I mean, I don't, whatever. What do you want me to say to that? I did not expect that comment. Sometimes I should read shit before I click on it. I don't know. I don't know how to judge a guy, nor do I want to. Dave, I like Gene, but I'm afraid she is like Jodi Arias and will kill him one day. Run, Gene, run. I don't know if she's like Jodi Arias, but yeah, of course. I think what is this? I think that one day it'll most likely be her doing permanent damage to him. Yes. Hold on one sec. Come on, guys. It's Friday. It's not Friday. This can't be wrong. It's Thursday. Wait a minute. Let me see. I wish it was Friday. Well, actually, I don't because I don't make any money on Friday. People were hooking me up in the beginning of the show. I'm very, very grateful for that. I made, 10, 30, 50, 70, 90, 100, 110, 120. Can't complain. And hopefully the longer I stay on, the more I'll make. That's generally how I like it. And don't be afraid to hit up the Cash App, guys, because people stopped with the Cash, and especially the Cash App. It goes in waves. Sometimes you get mostly super chats. Sometimes you'll get mostly cash. But I think in my Cash App in the last 2 weeks, I've probably made about $150. It's very odd, but it just goes that way sometimes. Let me see. I had a Sicilian friend who visited Alabama back in the day. He looked like an Arab. The locals would stare at him in utter amazement as if he was from another planet. Yeah, some My Cousin Vinny shit. Yeah. All this waiting is making me crazy. I can only imagine what it's doing to you guys. The 31st. Good luck. Wishes for Mom, bro. Thank you, man. Yeah, of course. I worry. That's why, like I said, at first I took the route of talking about it on here all the time, and it was doing severe damage to me, like seriously. And it wasn't, helping because she probably heard me in here while I'm sitting here crying. I can't let her see or hear that, and it's just something now that I'm dealing with in my personal life, trying to spend as much time with her as possible. Of course, still recording conversations me and her have and shit, and looking at photo albums, doing all that stuff just in case, you know. But I'm just not going to accept, you know what, yet. Just not going to. But it's very hard because you don't know. You know, it could be any day. And I'm back to where I was when I was a little kid, you know. Every day when I wake up, it's like if I don't hear her, I go into a panic. Because I know, like, what time she showers, stuff like that. And if Shanna's home, you know, I'll ask. 'Cause I told you, I'm scared to death. I was my whole life of finding her. So before I even go check on her, you know, I'll ask Shanna, did you see my mom today? And if she hasn't, then obviously I go check. But it's a scary thing, man. I'm on my third marriage. I can't give Gene advice. I hear you, bro. Oh, of course, Alabama. Of course there was. Yeah, major. Let's send Gene some lavender scented candles, maybe some essential oils. Those might help him relax. The police report says Gene claimed self-defense. Oh, Gene claimed self-defense. Oh, so what? So did he put his hands on her then? They already have the police report out. I guess I don't know everything about this situation, which I'm not surprised of. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't even awake all day. Yeah, Dave, I agree. I think she will. Alex Fajigataja, I'm not catching the joke. I don't know. Hope Gene doesn't get her. I'm rushing it. No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. I was going to say I wish it was Friday, but Fridays are like the worst days. I might as well take Friday and Saturday off. It's odd. There's no money. None. I hate taking any day off. Yesterday was, like I said, simply because it was a mixture of things. Stand-up guy was on. I didn't have much to talk about, anything specific, and I had to get up so goddamn early, you know. At first I texted Jesse. I said I'm going on at 7, and then I was out, and things were not going my way yesterday, and I realized I'm not going to be home anywhere near fucking 7. And then I thought, okay, I'll do it at 8, and then 8 passes, 8:30, 9. I'm like, all right, I either do it at 10 or I don't do one. So I decided not to do one. Sir Leap, meow, what's up, peeps? Oh, you're a cat. Well, meow to you. How the fuck are you? Meow the fuck are you? What's getting desperate, Bensonhurst OG? Lee, read the police report a little, or Lee read the police report a while ago. Oh, okay. Well, that's why I didn't see it then. I don't watch Lee. I heard he jumped the gun this morning, though, right? And was saying that like Gene beat her up or some shit. What did the police report say, guys? Fill me in. Because I'm not going to watch Lee. I married the same girl 2 times so far. I can't tell Gene what to do either. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't think I could do it after a divorce. I think I'd say, nope, no more. Okay, so you're supposed to be somebody's cat, but I'm not sure whose. I'm not sure. It's fucking these characters. Lee is such a piece of shit with the way he reports this stuff. He immediately assumes the worst and goes out and says it. Shame on James for going along with it. Yeah, I know. Well, you know, that's Lee, you know. Lee wants to be the guy, you know, with the headline, with the fucking the breaking news. So he'll just say whatever. He don't give a fuck if it's true or not. Please report on this jackass's channel. Dexter Morgan. I never lets Proctor tell a story. He is so annoying. Who's annoying, James or Lee? Or just the fact that Lee is letting James tell the story? The dude can't walk. You talking about the getting desperate comment? That's your response. Getting desperate. Your next comment is the dude can't walk. You talking about Gene? Lee's obsession with trying to make Gene out to be this awful person is crazy. He gets a hard on when bad things come up about this dude. Well, that's one of the things I never respected about the guy. You know what I mean? Is that when they're friends, or when Lee is friends with anybody, they're the fucking bee's knees. That's right, Jules. I said it. But when they have a fucking falling out, the person becomes the devil all of a sudden. And everything you ever said good about him or any fucking thing else, you know, it goes out the fucking window. And you have a never-ending vendetta. It's like people do with me. Never fucking ending. Till this day. And let me tell you what it stems from. Hold on. Yo, Gene can jaywalk. If he gets caught jaywalking, he goes to jail, you bet. Do you mean Gene can't jaywalk? If he gets caught jaywalking, he goes to jail, you bet. He called the cops first. He's like, oh, wow, you really don't like Gene, huh? All right, Bensonhurst OG. Lee said that Johnny Light's, I don't even like to say the words, but the passing of A-Light's daughter, this is what Lee says, is karma for John. Okay. Fucking disgraceful. And when he said that, Gene Borello said, that's it, end of friendship. Because it's a sick, twisted fucking thing to say. It's sick. And Gene said, fuck that. You know, that's my friend. You're a twisted motherfucker. I'm done with you. And Lee, he handles rejection kind of like a certain individual in Miami. You know, he can't handle it. So he's been bashing and trashing Gene ever since, even though Gene doesn't mention his name, talk about him, talk to him, or anything else. You know, it's just the way it is. And he can't lay off. So he sits around waiting for shit like this. You know what I mean? He can't wait till Gene gets him in some trouble or something. It's crazy. Is that right, Sir Leap? All right. Jesus Christ, the fucking characters. Gene used to be, it's been a while since I've done. Gene used to be in my crew. I was his godfather. I know pizza. I mean, I stinky vegan Irish lot lizard. Captain Downtown can't stand the fake anti-rat stance that Lee takes. He's only doing this to impress a certain content creator with a notorious last name. Yeah, we know that, of course. You know, he was that dude. Hold on. That dude, I forgot what I was saying, but the rats thing. Yeah, I remember when he held up Gene's book and said, I'm proud to call Gene a friend, you know, and he had a total fucking stance against anti-rat people, you know. He came on here anti-rat, and then Johnny Light offered him an interview, and he was fucking thrilled, and then all of a sudden he wasn't anti-rat anymore, and then Jimmy Calandra broke his heart. He became anti-rat again. Then him and Gene became friends, and he was no longer anti-rat. Then Gene broke his heart, and he became anti-rat. Well, not quite yet, because he was friends with us, so he was had no problem with rats, and then I broke his heart, and Angel picked him up, and he became anti-rat. And then he tossed Angel aside, threw her under the bus so he could interview rats. And then I guess when that wasn't going as well as he expected and he got a chance to go back with Angel, he went back with Angel. I'm not making any of this up or exaggerating. This is how it went. You know, and now that he's back with her, he's anti-rat again. More. Holy shit. Really? Yeah. Well, he's a good dude, man. I don't know if he said anything nice today, but he has been, and I appreciate it. He's a good dude, man. You know, I think we had the wrong opinion about each other. Even though in the beginning, I said, guys, you could go back. I could show you videos where I said when I first heard him, the guy's fucking good, man. He's a trip. You know, and I tried to help him. I got him some subs, and I went on his show a couple of times. He was dead set against me. He hated my fucking guts. So he went at me constantly, but you know, I liked the dude in the beginning, and I like him now. You know, and the class he's shown with my mom is something I will never forget. Never forget. And people say he said this, and this about people in my family. I'm sure he did say some shit. You know, he, from what I heard, not only in a roundabout way or whatever, apologized for it, but he's said some very, very nice things about the same people in my family lately. And I think I said some things about somebody in his family around the same time. So, and I say the same thing, you know, if I did, I apologize. And, you know, you know, I hold no grudges, and I appreciate the way he's had my back, and, you know, encourage people to pray for my mom and everything else. So I don't forget shit like that. I don't. Hold on. He's a good dude, man. No way he said that about the man's daughter. Oh, you mean Lee? Oh, yes, he did. He did. He sat on Angel's show, and he said it was karma for John. Because John, why? What did John do to him? John just stopped talking to him. That's it. He just stopped talking to him. And they had some words back and forth. I ain't gonna front. I think when Lee was talking shit about him and making up stories, he might have called Lee a pedo or some shit like that. And Lee then decided that a pedo is the worst thing a man could be called, even though before that he had said a rat was the worst thing a man could be called, and said that about a few other things too. He was going at John Elite's neck constantly, you know, and John came back at him and he went ape shit. And then it drove him to the point where he said that about a man's deceased daughter. You know my feelings towards John Elite for the longest fucking time. I was in Miami when I heard that she passed, his daughter. And what did I say? The next time I even came or went live, I said, I will never say a bad word about this guy again. I'm never going to talk shit about him. I'm never going to go after him ever again. I'm done attacking him. What he's been through is the type of fucking pain that nobody should ever have to feel or suffer from. You know, we're not supposed to lose our kids, you know. And she was a young girl, and he loved and adored her. And I know it because when she was going after me for him in the beginning, I looked at her Instagram and stuff. And let me tell you something, in almost every fucking picture, there John was with her and her son, you know, John's grandson. So, you know, if people want to act like he's cold-hearted and he didn't care about anything or anyone, you're wrong. He loved and cared for his daughter the same way any father would love and care for their daughter and grandson, you know. And the pain that the dude feels is something I wouldn't wish on anyone. Not my worst fucking enemy. And I've spoken to John a couple of times now, you know, and I have no problem with the guy. I'm telling you right now, if that bothers some people, I don't know what to tell you, but you know, he's a different person when you talk to him, you know. And I sent him that thing on Father's Day. I really was, you know, on Father's Day, I thought about him, and I said, Jesus Christ, the fucking pain that he must feel on this day, you know. And I texted him, and I expressed to him, you know, how bad I feel, and how I can't imagine the type of suffering he's dealing with on Father's Day of all days, and every day, honestly. And he really appreciated that from me. So that's all I can say, you know. But to say that about anyone is fucking twisted. And then MRE said it about somebody in our very own chat who lost a daughter just a month or two later. People are fucking sick, man. But I never heard anybody over here, nobody, ever say anything that's sick about any fucking one. Nobody. Kane Shades, who was arrested multiple times for DV, is putting out videos gloating over Gene's DV arrest. Can't make this shit up. Well, it's because he's a deity, and he doesn't even realize, you know, that he's throwing stones in a glass fucking house. He's a big douchebag. You don't have two brain cells to rub together. So who gives a fuck what he says, you know? Gene, again, listen. This is what, you know how I say about certain people who live in Ohio, places like that, you know what I mean? Florida, you know, that I laugh at you as a human being because my life and lifestyle is something you would dream of. And I'm virtually nobody, but my life is that much better than yours that's why you've spent, I don't know, years now just jealous of me and envious and hateful because of your jealousy and envy. Well, it's the same thing with somebody like Gene. Gene is banging what might as well be basically a fucking supermodel. Okay, he's got businesses. He's got tons of fucking money. He's walking around wearing Rolexes and expensive clothes and all types of fucking shit. And he's a minor celebrity with a fucking book out. And I'm sure he'll be on documentaries and everything else till the day he fucking dies. And Kane Shades is Kane Shades. You know what I mean? So that's why, like, that's another reason I chose to start ignoring some of these people, because once you realize that everything is born out of fucking jealousy and envy, and that's what turns into hatred for these people, why even acknowledge them? Because if Kane Shades was doing better than Gene in life, he wouldn't be concerned with Gene. If these assholes who can't stop fucking with me were doing better than me in life, they wouldn't be concerned with me. That's just the way it is. It's the psychology of haters. Seriously. So why should Gene give a fuck? Why should Gene care what anybody thinks? You know what I mean? The dude is fucking, whether you want to admit it or not. Now, this situation is bad. I believe that the person he's with, it's a toxic situation. And no matter what she looks like or no matter what, you know, he feels about her, how much he's in love with her and stuff, I think it's probably best for the both of them if it ends and whatever. Aside from that, you know, look at the guy's fucking life. It's pretty goddamn good, right? So, you know, a lot of people, they hate that. It was the same thing with Jimmy back then. You know, Jimmy, beautiful fucking home, beautiful cars, beautiful girlfriend, beautiful kids. He's a great father, too. And I said this even when I was not happy with fucking Jimmy Clan. Okay? Has a great job working for the union, was making a fuck ton of money on his YouTube channel. Had it going on. And, that's what really made them hate him. They just, the rat thing, yeah, that might have been the foundation of all of it, you know? But you put all that other stuff on top, and that's where the true hatred comes from. Because when you hate somebody for whatever reason, you want to see them suffer. And when they're doing the complete and total opposite, it makes you angrier. With me, how many of my enemies have tried to say I'm still on drugs and that I was never a drug dealer, but I was actually some like lowly fucking junkie in an alley somewhere, like I was begging for money to get high? Why? Because they can't stand the fact that it's not that. They don't want me to have been some guy who, even with an addiction, made money and had nice cars and beautiful girlfriends and fucking a great life and was a good father and all that shit. They can't have that because none of them were that kind of person. None of them were like that. You know, they can't say that about themselves. So what do they always try to do? He's on drugs. They talk about gabapentin like it's fucking black tar heroin. You know, he's on fucking drugs. He was never a drug dealer. He was a crackhead, even though I never used crack. I used powder cocaine. Lee used to say he sold crack to school kids. I mean, you know, and you know, they say shit about Shanna. Shanna's 5'4" and 120 fucking pounds now, okay? And there's still people out there calling her fat. because they can't handle the fact that she's a very pretty girl, who happens to be deeply in love with me. They can't fucking stand it. So they try to take all that shit away from you. That's what they try to do. And that's what they do with Gene, and then they did it with Jimmy, and they do it with all these guys. Oh, Timothy Sullivan, you're a sick bastard. I'm sure Lee got a call from a special someone who's bad-mouthing Gene like crazy, calling him a rat when that person has multiple rats in her family. Without question. Without question. Lee ain't even black out the address on the document now if that's the girl's address, even though it's public info. The least you could do is block it out. Oh, yeah. See, well, that would be now when somebody put his phone number out there, he went fucking berserk and started screaming, they doxed me, my phone number. Remember, he banged on his table? My fucking phone number I've had for 10 fucking years. They doxed it. My fucking phone number. Like, Jesus Christ. He was acting like they doxed his grandkids or something. Like, what the fuck, bro? A phone number? That's not even doxing. People they still haven't figured out what that is. A date of birth, a hometown, a fucking phone number. This is not doxing. But that's doxing. You put her fucking address up. Because people already know her name and stuff. That's pretty fucking bad, but that's okay for Lee, because God forbid he took 30 fucking seconds to put care into what he was doing and say, oh, we can't do this. This is too much right here. We got to take her address out at least. No, he's so worried about getting the scoop. Lee believes that he's some sort of fucking journalist who's got breaking news and headlines. Meanwhile, no fucking buddy even cares, and most people don't even know he exists. You know how many times I get told shit before a lot of fucking people? I don't even care. If it's something real important, I would probably try to bring it to you guys first. But who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? There's going to be 50 shows talking about it within 2 fucking hours. But Lee, he swears that he's going to win a Pulitzer or some shit. A Pulitzer, or however you pronounce that. That's in his mind. He's that big of a deal. My leg, Bensonhurst OG, is much better. My tailbone, not so much. And my, like today, I was in the dentist fucking chair again. And I had to have them lay me down because I it's hard to sit straight up. And like in this position, I can sit, but I can't lean back or I'm on my tailbone and I have a trouble being on my side. If you notice, I used to always be in, I can't do it, but I was always kind of chilling in the chair side to side. I was pushed up against the back, whatever. I can't do that right now. My tailbone and the right side of my back, that's it. My back is fucked up and it won't get better. Like my whole right side, not my spine or anything, just my whole right side. I was laying down last night and I tried to get up and it was like, oh, fuck me, the fucking pain. But everything else was better. I'm fine. And the chances are the back injury isn't even from I don't know if I got kicked by a lot of people, so I don't know if I got kicked in the body all like that. I'm telling you the truth, I just don't remember. I mean, obviously I did because some of those marks and shit were from being kicked, but I can't tell you I was kicked in that exact spot. Now I do have bruises over it. I showed you guys, so maybe, but it could have just come from the struggling and fighting, falling and all that different shit. I don't like guys who beat up women. That's all it is. He wants to be a rat. That's on him. Well, Bensonhurst OG, I don't either. I don't think anybody likes guys who beat on women, but we have no proof he beat on her. Trust me. I don't care who wants to believe it or who doesn't. If I knew Gene was hitting that girl and that's why she stabbed him, this would be a totally different show. I like Gene, but I'm not one of these fucking mindless followers of anyone. I come on here and fucking tear Gene to shreds, and he knows it too, in a fucking heartbeat. I'm only giving him the benefit of the doubt because if I remember correctly, it seems that a lot of these altercations between the two of them, she was the aggressor. Okay, that's the only reason. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And because of the fact that I see him stabbed, but I didn't hear about her being hurt at all. But trust me, if I find that out, it'll be a different show. If Gene can drive to Texas without getting arrested, Big Tex might get his fat ass kicked. That's fucking great. Holy shit. Wow. I'm not sure what this is in reference to, Bensonhurst OG. Yeah, I know, D. Gainey, I know, but that's anybody in here who who saw it can tell you, and I think probably 90% of the people in here saw it. Lee was on Angel's show and said that, and I could be wrong, but I think maybe even Angel did Angel stand up for John and his daughter? I think she might have said that was wrong or something. I could be wrong. Maybe she went along with it, but Lee, yeah, that's what he said. My mom? Of course, bro. Yeah. Yes, rest in peace, Chelsea. Yeah, of course. And you remember that Lee is never thinking about anyone but Lee. So he's not saying that as in, oh, look what John did to people. It's karma. No. He's saying that like, look what John did to me. And all John did to him was just reject him. It's the same shit I get from people. You know, if you see certain people in this chat, I'm not even going to lie to you, certain people that some of you guys might be questioning, like, what the fuck? Look at some of the shit these people did. Why is he allowing them in here now? If you think I've forgiven or forgotten any of it, and you don't think that if I saw these people in real life, I'd try to take their heads off, you're wrong, okay? I've just come to the conclusion that some of the very dangerous people on here, when I reject them, it turns out bad for me and everyone around me. Okay. You know what I mean? Like some of these trolls and shit, you just got to say, okay, let them hang out. It's not worth the fucking trouble. They have to know how I really feel about them, but fuck it. Let them hang out because I don't need this bullshit. You know what I mean? Every fucking time I reject somebody, I have some fucking asshole doing 900 shows about me and my fucking family. That's not just some people. That's all of them. Okay, so some people it's just like, oh, you want to be unblocked in the chat or something? Okay, whatever. I don't even care anymore. Doesn't mean we're friends or I'd ever talk to you in person, or it doesn't even mean I don't hate your fucking guts. It just means that I've learned. You know, I remember Gunsmoke, and I got pissed off at him once. He was like, somebody tried to get a hold of me and wanted to be my buddy. It was a real lowlife. And I was like, I told him, go fuck himself. And he said something along the lines of, see, you got to just accept some of these people because when you don't, they go crazy. They can't handle it. And I got real mad at him. And I still don't agree with that. Like, for the most part, no, I'll never accept you or forgive you or be your buddy once you've done certain shit to me and my family. Never in a million fucking years. But he was right to an extent, as in, sometimes you're better off just pretending. You know what I mean? Just because you know what the result's going to be otherwise. And I would have never said that before, but you guys have seen it. My family always becomes the target. So trust me, it's a fine line. You got to say, well, but I hate this motherfucker. I want them dead. Should I fucking even acknowledge them? Well, and if I don't, or if I tell them to go fuck themselves, who's going to wind up paying for it? The people around me. So you're in a tough fucking spot, but it's like some people I've already realized. It doesn't matter how much I hate you. I can't. It's too much now. You know what I'm saying? It's too fucking much. It's like if letting you hang out in here, whatever keeps you happy, and you leave me and my fucking family alone, I'm probably better served just letting you do it. And my family is too. Because when these people get told no, holy fuck, man. Some of them, oh my God. Unbelievable. Mike DeBella, $9.99. Thank you, Mike. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, bro. Appreciate you being here, and thank you for the donation. There also now let me add to what I just said. That doesn't mean that I go in their chat. I'm talking about if any of them are content creators. I go in their chats, I get a fucking wrench, I talk to you on the phone, we're buddy, I compliment you, I defend you. Fuck that. No. I told you I'll never do what these other people do. Never. They were focusing on the fact that Gene had no money and qualified for a public defender. I don't know. Is that true? I mean, I find it hard to believe he has no money. He's Gene, you know. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think, you know, he has a partnership in that hand wash, which makes money. And I think for 7.5 months or 9 months, whatever the fuck it was, he was locked up. That money was just stacking up. And I think he came out to a fucking bag, I would assume. I could be wrong, but you know, that could be a strategy too. You know, if you're in a position where you know that, okay, she's not going to press charges, somehow we're going to get this dropped. Do I fucking lay out $5,000 to retain a lawyer and all this other horse shit? Or, you know what I mean? But to qualify, that's a different thing. That's kind of difficult because public defenders, you got to be destitute. You know, all that shit will provide you. A lawyer will be provided to you. And like, fuck out of here. Yeah, right. You know what? You have fucking. That ain't like you could just say, hey, I can't afford a lawyer. I need a public defender. No, that's how it's supposed to work. Now you got to qualify. They want to know that you ain't got shit. If you even got vehicles in your fucking name, that's too much because you could sell them and pay for a lawyer. They want to know you're fucking, it's like applying for fucking welfare. It's unbelievable how fucking difficult they make it. The whole court system. Bensonhurst OG, I know is the worst comes with the neighborhood. I live in, wait a minute. I know is the worst comes with the neighborhood I live in for years. It's finally silent now. It was a haven for children going before their parents, and I wasn't. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's terrible. Lee's own dog hates him too. You think? Polly? No, he didn't, Colby A&D. Nope. If Gene hit or beat her, it would have been a felony arrest, and it wasn't, so he did not hit her. It would definitely be more serious than it is, I think. Yeah. But you got to remember, you know, he could have grabbed her and just been trying to hold her from swinging a knife at him or something. But boom, it's your dude. I mean, you can't do any fucking thing. You can't. You just got to basically stand there and let her kill you if that's what she wants to do. God for fucking bid, you restrain her. Oh my fucking God. You're finished. No, I'm positive. I could even picture where in the panel he was sitting. He was on the bottom, right in the fucking middle. Yeah. Yep. Lee did an interview with Jimmy A-Light. When? Oh, you making fun of him? You talking about way back? Yeah. If that's the one you're talking about, I remember. Note to self, pick on FBS. There you go. You should pick a day of the week and have a segment called No with FBS and rip into a bad song or movie. It's not a bad idea, actually. It's not a bad idea. I got some things in mind. Lee is a lowlife. The judge ruled he qualified for a public defender according to the police report. Well, I don't know what to make of that. I'll be honest. Yeah, I know Bensonhurst OG. Yeah, it was a lot, you know. It's a lot of struggling and shit, so it's no big deal, though. I ain't sweating it. Dildo. Jesus Christ, War. Dildo. Why are you gonna retract it, bro? All right, guys, listen, man. It's 6:55. I gotta go do a couple things. I'm gonna try to come back on tonight, though, so you could expect me back. I don't know what we'll talk about, but we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll have some more news. Oh, really, Mike DeBella? I'm surprised you don't have one already. You're a fucking mogul over here. There's not much. Every type of fucking business, Mike owns one. I fucking look up to you, bro. I wish I fucking would have made decisions like that in my life. I appreciate you guys, Jordan Canada. Let's see. I want to go over everybody who donated real quick, and then I'm out. Stephen Cordell sent that 20 for Match to Paulie. Thank you. No Cash App still. We're in a dry spell. Nico Sia did send me 20 earlier today, so I take that back. Still in kind of a dry spell. Sally, Paulie Walnuts, Alex Fajigadaja, Shinebox, hey now. Sally, $10. Jersey Girl, 12 months. Paulie Walnuts, 12 months. Jersey Girl, $9.99. Mike DeBella, $9.99. Thank you, guys. I'll be back tonight, all right? I love you all. And until next time, salute.